Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. Today's episode is once again sponsored by DDBT's Wigs. This is a 12-inch 13x4 transparent wig. We sell wholesale, retail. I had to cut it short because I like short hair. So get in contact with us and we'll get you sorted. Now let us dive into today's episode because it's yeah, I don't even want to say it's funny, but we are still trying to settle the issue of the auxiliary nurse who injected Mohbad. There has been a whole lot of revelation regarding that. We have doctors coming out to call out other doctors saying that these people, because they need cheap labor, they are bringing in people who are not even qualified to be nurses to help them out. But these people, or the auxiliary nurse, the way they call them, they go out there because people are seeing them in the hospital thinking they are nurses. So they call them and they help them with treatments and every other thing. This is not just a Nigerian thing. This is an African thing. Now in South Africa, Dr. Matthew Lani, alleged Dr. Matthew Lani, has been trending on both social media, Twitter, TikTok. He started on TikTok. He started as a doctor, claiming to be a doctor, dishing out advice. He said he was, or he is HIV positive, and he kind of developed a medical cure or something that he was taking. And people started questioning, because he went to school, he claimed he went to Cambridge, a lot of certificate that he claimed to have obtained.
The Gauteng Health Department has opened a criminal case against a social media influencer claiming to be a medical doctor. Officials say the 27-year-old, popularly known as Matthew Lani, has been falsely presenting himself as an employee at Helen Joseph Hospital in Johannesburg, but he's now been exposed as fake, and who actually, apparently he actually stole the identity of a medical intern at another institution. The Health Professions Council of South Africa and Wits University have all distanced themselves from this bogus doctor. And let's get you more on this. We'll speak to the Health Department in just a moment. But for now, let's welcome Dr. Mahome Masike, who's with the Health Professions Council of South Africa, joining us now via our video link. And Doc, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for making time. It was in June this year when the HPCSA actually came out to say about 120 bogus doctors have been found through your own campaign, your own work to try to root out these people from your profession. But I wonder how this particular story came to your attention. I mean, have you seen anything like this before?
No, not yet, but it's part of a process. Getting rid of bogus doctors in our country is a process and definitely not an event. We get quite a number of them, and my investigators are busy trying to get through to this particular person. We are now in consultation with the Department of Health in Gauteng and the SAPS to be able to liaise. My investigators are busy so that once ultimately the arrest is made, we'll be able to give you information on it. You must remember, we are in the business of guiding the profession and protecting communities. We cannot let people out there treat unsuspecting communities without the relevant qualifications.
Absolutely.
But people were saying, with the age of social media right now, with all this Gen Z, because he's 27 years old, people started thinking, a 27 years old doctor, you have to have like classmates, you have to attend events, you have to be in the hospital, because all his videos were done in living room. And, so people were saying, if you're actually a doctor, there has to be evidence, there has to be proof, because this guy went viral. He even started trying to invent or create a cream product or something when the HIV one wasn't selling. So people started poking holes in what he was saying, because, there are some professions that you cannot fake, because if you say you're a doctor, there are certain questions that people will ask you and you are not able to provide kind of information for them, or people just saw him as a very young, like there's no way this 7-year-old guy would be a doctor.
I don't have a matric certificate. I have a high school diploma because I got a scholarship to study through the Cambridge International Schools. So I actually have a high school diploma from Cambridge University. From TikTok, they were concerned because They said that they've never seen you posting videos of you in a hospital or a doctor's office. And when they tried searching your name on the registrar, you did not appear. So they think that you're a fake doctor. So I had to now give the HPCSA my full name, my PayCell number, my HPCSA number for them to confirm that I'm registered with them. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, I am a doctor. I am a doctor. Like, yegalumona, and create something of your own. Zingelwa is my legal surname. So don't go to the HPCSA database and put in Lani's surname, which I've also said it before, it's not my surname. And when you don't find results, you get excited. Because now what happens is that you'll get excited because you want to take me down. You report it to the HPCSA. The HPCSA calls me. They confirm my things. Then, so at least the HPCSA will put it on record that Lani and Zingelwa, same person. Since my popularity is attached to the Lani surname. Okay. So when you go on the HPCSA website, you are not going to find Lani because that's not my surname. Hey guys, so with the allegations that have been happening in the past couple of days about me, no media which has reported it has ever reached out to me to get my side of the story. The media has only been reporting what Black Twitter has been saying, and I find that to be quite unfair and very misfortunate because there is a lot of misinformation that is going on, which has resulted in the statements that have been released. But Radio 2000 has reached out to me, and it is the only media house that has reached out to me to get my response. So please catch me on Radio 2000 at 11 to get my truth.
Look, I know that faking being a doctor is wrong. It's unethical. It's illegal. You could potentially harm people. But he really said Delulu is the Sululu. He said be Delulu until it becomes Trululu. He bought himself scrubs and he embroidered them. He didn't just have the stethoscope. Could you imagine how far you would get if you had that level of Delulu, if you were that confident with the qualifications and skills that you have? Obviously nothing illegal or unethical, but just being that level of confident. The friends and the family didn't say anything. Being that level of Delulu with that kind of support structure, you'd go far, you'd go places. I'm not condoning anything that he's done, but I'm just saying that some people do not believe in themselves enough. Be Delulu.
It is sad that a whole lot of people have lost their lives because of these fake doctors or fake nurses or fake. I mean, the TikTok guy, Dr. Matthew Lani, people are finding it funny. But if you actually look at the case of Mohbad, these are the issues, because this guy was producing certificates. He was saying he was working here, he was working there. I remember there was a street that one of my friends was living in. There's this alleged doctor that was actually the doctor was sacked according to what she told me because she was not feeling fine. So she said she wants to go to the chemist to get medication. I said, okay. So they went to the chemist. The chemist was not open. So she said, okay, she will go to the doctor's place. And this was in the afternoon. I was like, what is a doctor doing in the shop by this time? She said, oh, he had issues in the hospital. So they kind of sacked him. He's still looking for work. And then he opened this. I said, are you sure he's a doctor? She said, yes, he worked at that hospital. Why was he sacked? Why was he sacked? So people didn't really care because, these are less people that don't have money will just go there to be treated. And this man will be injecting people, giving people medication, and you don't know where. But we have a sitting president right now that forged every certificate, that even date of birth, even birth certificates he forged. So what are we even talking about? Where do we start fixing a problem where the top of the food chain is corrupt? I don't know where we go from here. And some of these carers or some of these auxiliary whatever, when they now fake their own certificates and come to the abroad and start working, those are the people that get into trouble. Then they will say, oh, racism. They singled me out. They did this out. They did that. I am not saying there's no racism, but if you know what you're doing, most of them, if you actually, because these people don't play with lives. They don't. So you carry that mentality, you come here and you want to do the same thing, you are going to get into trouble. You will. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this topic. Please like, and share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.